Welcome to HealthCuts, another branch of the Axe and Scalpel podcast tree, where Dr. Jake, the veterinarian, and Dr. Rick, the family physician, will answer questions about health and related issues for humans and our furry friends alike. So let's get started.
We got Dr. Rapp here as we talking about the human health. We got Dr. Jacob Smith here as we talking about your furry friends' health. And I like the furries better. So let's talk to Jacob first. Okay. What do you got for us?
Well, one of the things that I guess a simple topic this time of year I'm getting lots of questions about and concerns about is pets and ticks. And
the snow is melting.
The snow is melting, and that means people ask me, when should we start using, tick preventatives? When should I be concerned about Lyme disease? The answer is now. Once the snow starts melting, once it gets 32 degrees or above, you'll start to get some ticks out, and we'll start to see them in clinic here, in the next couple weeks. And Lyme disease or other tick-borne diseases are by far and away the most frequent thing that I treat, up here in our neck of the woods. It's unfortunate, but almost every canine patient that lives in Northwest Wisconsin at some point in its life, it is going to be bitten by a tick and exposed to tick-borne disease. And so, my advice for people this time of year is, go over your dog, of course, when it comes in after it's spent a significant amount of time outside. Try to go through, pick off any stray ticks that you can find, even though that's going to be darn near impossible sometimes with your small, like deer ticks in that population. But, vaccinate your dog against Lyme disease. The Lyme vaccine is controversial because it's not as effective as your typical viral vaccines, because Lyme disease is not a virus. It's actually a bacteria. But still, it does have some significant measure of effectiveness. Vaccinate your dog against Lyme disease and give your dog a monthly tick preventative. The way it used to be done is they'd have these little ampules of liquid. People commonly remember Frontline or those cute Advantix commercials back in the day with puppies on the TV screen. Those things are kind of losing their effectiveness. They now have oral tablets that you can give a dog. And for those who are maybe in the organic or natural, realm of things, that's tough to swallow because it is essentially making your dog swallow an insecticide, and they keep a small amount of that insecticide in their bloodstream for 30 days. But it is effective against ticks, and the tick does have to bite and ingest some of the animal's blood before it falls off and dies, but a tick has to be attached. They say, the science says between 48 to 72 hours.
That's the same in humans.
Before it can transmit something like Lyme disease. So by that time, the medicine should have done its job and the tick should die and fall off. And that has been the most effective technology we've seen out yet to prevent Lyme disease or anaplasmosis, which is the second most common disease we see up here from ticks that dogs can contract. So if you give your dog an oral flea and tick preventative every month and you vaccinate them against Lyme's and you try to, pick off the obvious ticks, you're going to greatly reduce your chances your dog does get one of these things. You won't eliminate it by 100%, but you can sleep easy knowing that you did what you could do as a pet owner. So that's my quick minute for today in animal health care.
And people can find you over at Granttown.
Ladysmith Veterinary Clinic. Yeah, ladysmithveterinaryclinic.com. Well, of course, we'll try to tag this to our Facebook page. And we've been seeing patients out there for, believe it or not, I think 12 years now. And so we've been enjoying Rusk County and helping out our local pet population. And we will continue to do so throughout the spring here. So
you're good at what you do, young man.
So how about on the human side? What do we got?
Oh, on the human side, a big issue that's happening just here that we wanted to talk about because it's on the local ballot here. It's fluoride. Fluoride in the drinking water. So a little bit of history. So they've been adding fluoride to public drinking water in this country for about 80 years. This was a response to significant issues of dental decay, which doesn't just affect the teeth; it affects, circulation health and
British people,
a lot of things. And so they started adding fluoride to drinking water 80 years ago, and you can think of this as a time before bottled water. This is a time before people having a lot of access to clean clean drinking water and things, as well as the time before toothpaste and mouthwashes and a lot of things. And they recognized, hey, teeth and enamel is made of fluoride and people are having dental decay, so we need to have more fluoride. And then over time started to come the realization of what's the right amount and what's safe. They discovered, and so there are health risks of too much fluoride. You can develop something called fluorosis of the teeth, fluorosis of the bones. It can affect heart health and other things. And then what's really gotten people up in arms more recently is some decent studies around the world that have been published in journals like the Journal of American Medical Association that has shown a connection of high fluoride levels in the water to lower IQ. And they call this an inverse relationship. As the amount of fluoride exposure goes up, the IQ of children goes down.
Ooh.
I think there's a lot of other reasons why IQ is going down. But on the fluoride front, so the studies that are being cited by groups that are trying to have fluoride removed from the water, they look primarily at China, number one, and the concentrations where they found this relationship were 2.5 milligrams per liter of fluoride versus, so 2.5 to 4 milligrams per liter of fluoride. So the standard in this country is 0.7. So the levels that we have been having in our water are below that which has shown any association to lower IQ. The studies that were in that journal article, they found when kids had lower concentrations below 2.5, there's no longer an association with loss of IQ. In general, most of the health issues, basically every one of the health issues that's been found from having fluoride in drinking water comes at concentrations higher than 2.5, right? And we locally, and this has been managed, this is not just state rules and national rules. For a while, they would allow 1.7 or 1.4 was the amount, and then it got lowered to 0.7. That's kind of the thing. So technically, the concentration of fluoride in our drinking water has never been shown, as from anything that I could find in researching this, to be associated with causing those connections. And in fact, you can find higher concentrations in a lot of the well water around here, naturally occurring fluoride.
Following the science.
I've been following the science. I've been trying to look at it. But so the desire is, so in Wisconsin, 80 municipalities, 80, maybe 88, I'm trying to remember the number, have already voted and removed. And in Russ County, Ladysmith is the only municipality that still has fluoride in the drinking water. Weyerhaeuser and Bruce and Tony don't, if they actually have their own water treatment plants or whatnot, but they don't. I know that the reports that I read said they don't actually add it. But you're at the point where you say, okay, should we have fluoride in the drinking water?
Yeah. Is it necessary?
Is it actually necessary at this point anymore? And that's where I'm kind of looking at it and trying to say, as a healthcare provider, we need to be making sure that for the health of the teeth, right? We need to be getting good some fluoride. And so
can that
brushing your teeth, toothpaste, mouthwash, you can get it. I know that there are hardcore anti-fluoride people that would say you shouldn't even be doing that because it's because it lowers the IQ. I was like, you're not going to get the concentration
to it still.
There is still benefit for tooth health. I think even if you choose to not have to use non-fluoride toothpaste and mouthwash, if you're actually brushing your teeth and avoiding the sodas, which I'm guilty of drinking too much diet soda, but the sodas, the acids, and you're doing those things, you're probably going to be okay. Just by taking care of your teeth with that. I personally think that, that there's probably no longer a need to have fluoride in the drinking water. This is a personal opinion because we can get it through other sources. So many of us are not actually drinking that water. But yeah, so there is risk if you're getting tons and tons of fluoride. There is risk to the health. I don't think it's the fluoride amounts in our water are not achieving the levels that have been shown to create those health problems.
So you may have inadvertently helped me win a household argument, and I know you probably hide from my wife now that you've helped me win.
Jake, you can never win.
But a point of
not aspire to this.
A point of contention in our household is my lovely wife. She likes to buy the fancy organic or natural toothpaste that's fluoride free, and my argument is that stuff tastes like crap.
Yeah,
I want my cinnamon Colgate or Scope flavored Crest that actually tastes decent, and this stuff tastes like you're brushing your teeth with baking soda or some.
Well, it is, that is very effective. Baking soda is very effective,
but it tastes like garbage.
Yeah,
and I want my fluoride intelligent IQ lowering Crest.
Yeah, and that is your choice as an American, Jake.
Yeah, is this
so here's the thing, like with so many stuff is what are we putting in our bodies?
Yeah.
The chemicals and the exposure and the colors and the additives and all of that, what's ultimately, what are you going to actually brush with? Because that's probably the biggest thing is what are you going to actually use? Let's be honest with you. None of us are flossing, just if you say you're flossing, I call you a lying sinner. I have known plenty of dentists who don't actually floss. But it's, but we should, there's benefit to it. We should brush our teeth more. We should be watching out for the things. The natural toothpaste, we've got our kids have that as well. My beloved bride has a bamboo toothbrush, that sort of thing. It's, again, kind of natural, kind of that thing. But if that is what gets you doing it and feeling good about it, power to you. I think there is probably some things in the toothpaste that might be damaging.
Whatever it is, it tastes good.
Yeah. And
what's like bipartisan, or can I go to the corner of 8 and 27 with a pro fluoride sign and see what kind of honking and stuff
seems like it's controversial,
right?
Well, here's the thing. So here's the thing is this is one that some people will vote against it just because they know that it's kind of been backed by some, well, I don't know if they're actually liberal or not. Maybe I'm speaking wrong there, but some people will be against it because, it sounds like a Robert Kennedy thing. But you know what? I think, folks, this is an issue where
it probably will get partisanized.
Dang. Yeah. But I'm just like, you know what? And it's not an expensive thing. So the city spent something like $1,100 for the total fluoride that they used last year was like $1,100, right? As far as the cost of the process of putting it in, I don't know what that is. There could be some cost savings there. I would just say, I think in this modern age, it's probably not necessary. I'm guessing that the poorer families that are unfortunately unable to afford, say, bottled water and things like that, I can probably say that those kids aren't drinking a lot of water out of the tap, unfortunately. I'd say they're still probably drinking a lot of soda and other stuff like that. So I would say adding it to the city water is probably no longer necessary in modern society.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you both, gentlemen. We're all a tad bit more wiser because of what you both bring to the table.
We appreciate that.
And we appreciate you for listening. That's going to do it for this one. Tune in for another exciting episode of the Axe and Scalpel podcast coming your way again real soon.
Yeah. And as always, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you. May he bring you peace. And he may bring Minnesota a championship of some sort.
Hey, we're due.